Hello everyone, welcome to IAM Part 1. IAM is used to control access to AWS services in an account. This is our agenda. We'll have a little bit of pre-IAM talk, then I'll discuss what Amazon resource names are. Then we'll see IAM users and groups along with multi-factor authentication. We'll have a demo, then I'll introduce you to JSON or JavaScript object notation. Finally, I'll conclude this part with IAM policies. We'll discuss what are users and groups, what are authentication and authorization in our pre-IAM talk. Authorization and authentication. We must have heard about it multiple times. What are these? What are the differences between the two? Let me try to make the concepts clearer. Suppose this is an organization where you are working and this organization has multiple departments like HR, IT, finance, some application department, user management department, etc. We all are employees to this organization. So we can enter this organization because we have ID cards. All these white dots are employees to this organization. And all of them can enter without any problem because all of them have ID card or ID access. So they are allowed to enter the organization premises. But after they enter, things change because some employees might be working for HR, some employees might be working for IT, some employees might be working for finance, some for application and some for UM. Now the thing is that all these employees were allowed to enter the organization premises. But after they entered the premises, they cannot enter to all the departments. If you make an analogy now, think of the organization as a system, and when all employees were allowed, they were nothing but authenticated in the system. Basically, they enter the system after they authenticate themselves as this organization's employees. But once they enter the system, all employees are not allowed to access all departments or resources within the system. So think of this white boundary as your server, which has database applications, Java application, some Unix directories, etc. Suppose you are a DBA. As a DBA, you are allowed to enter the server because you need to work on the database application. But that is all you can do. You cannot access the Unix file system here. You cannot access JVMs or Java which are running, etc. So this portion is called authorization. You need authentication to enter a system. Once you enter a system, you need authorization to access all resources of a system. If you are a super user, you'd be given access to all resources of the system, or you'd be authorized to access anything within the system. Users are people who work on an environment or who use applications or products. She is a user, he is another user. We have multiple servers, Unix servers, databases and application servers, etc. As she is an Unix admin, she has authority to access this Unix machine. And being an Oracle DBA, this person has access to the database server. Similarly, we can have a lot of Unix admins, database admins, application admins, all need some access or the other to some servers and machines. In groups, we put people or users with similar background or requirement together and give them collective access. In this diagram, all Oracle DBAs have been put in a group and access on this database server has been provided to the entire group. Permissions or access or authorization are similar and are used interchangeably. Permissions are used to authorize someone or a group of people to provide access to certain resources. This group is a group of Oracle DBAs which should not have access to the Unix servers, should have access to the database servers, and should not have any access to the application servers. All these are put in permission documents and attached to groups or individual users.